Tuesday, Felice Martis. How's it going, everybody? There it is. I'm team member Aaron Glenn, private personal consultant, CEO and creator of Team Angie, and also advocate for mental health awareness as well. The subject of this video was kind of not on purpose, not intentional, but I like to put positive vibes out into the universe. I'm all about good energy, good vibes, and creativity, creating good things that's useful, being fruitful in the world. Nevertheless, all my creations, I like it to bear fruit and to be something positive in the world. But nevertheless, today is September the 30th. We've made it to the final rodeo, the last of the Mohicans. This is the end of September. It's been a wonderful month, eye opening, nevertheless. Happy birthday to my lovely sister, Alicia. My lovely son's birthday is coming up next month. My birthday as well. A few other people, friends, family, excited. Excited about this end year time, about the seasons changing. It's lovely outside. Just out there enjoying a little bit of the air, a little bit of the sunshine, a little bit of the scenery. Just being grateful, thankful that I'm alive today. It's in my right mind. Woke up in my right mind, healthy. It's a lot to be grateful for. I just appreciate it. Days and I live my life being grateful, um, and always having more things to be grateful for. I'm in the pursuit of happiness. Each day I wake up and pursue happiness. And by doing so, I start off by being grateful. And I have other things to be happy for. And there's my pursuit being complete. And I try to hold on to those moments as long as I can, stay in that vibe, stay in that energy, stay in that flow. Why I advocate for mental health awareness is because success, happiness, all those things, those good vibrations, those good energies, they only come to you when you guard your mind. When you let go of the things that doesn't serve you, that doesn't help you grow, that doesn't develop you as a character, as a human being, as whatever it is you are that you claim to be, whatever titles you claim to, right? Whether you're a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a coworker, or whatever, right? How to be the best that you can be for you and for others is to guard your mind, to stay conscious of what you entertain, the thoughts that you engage, the thoughts that you entertain, and the things that you engage in. This for me right now here is a money making activity, but nevertheless, it's also an opportunity to use this platform and to put positive vibes out into the world, to help somebody from suffering in silence, to help somebody to realize their potential because you matter. And that's what this is about. It's a little bit of inspiration. You could bench watch all my channels and get a little bit of motivation, inspiration, and education from them all. I encourage you to subscribe to my channel as well. This is what I do it for. This is what Team Angie was created for people like me, and people like you, who just looking for a little peace of mind, a little stability, and also multiple streams of income, who want to make passive income but online. Why online is because the world is your customers. The world is potential your customers. The world is online. You don't have to worry about DMing people. You don't have to worry about going door to door. The typical marketing strategies when it comes to passive income. But passive income online is totally different. What I have to offer guys is digital products, master resale rights. These products are e-courses, similar to education. I sell education, financial literacy, basically. If you want to learn high income earning skills, that's what this is. All you need is cell phone and Wi-Fi and 2 hours a day to learn these money making activities that we do 2 hours a day. And they embark on building a email list, building a following, engaging, and other things. But that's for you guys who are interested in starting your own online business, live mentorship. This is the link below. But nevertheless, today is September the 30th. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back a day and we're going to read September 29th and the 30th. So this next month of October is going to be Open Book October, which is written by Sarah Jesus Calling, Enjoy Peace in His Presence. And also a book that my father wrote, um, we're going to go through the book. And if any of you guys are authors, publishers, you have some work that you want me to read out to the world, and you can submit that as well. And I wouldn't mind reading it. But what I am going to be doing is it's an open book about my life and Team Angie and where I've been, where I'm headed, and how I ended up in this position. So I encourage you guys to stick around this next month. It's going to be a blast. Tonight at 12:12. But anyway, we're going to go back a day and then we're going to get into today. And then we're going to talk about the truth about night terrors and why this relates to the subject at hand. This is a spiritual battle. That's why I advocate for mental health awareness, because if you have no armor, you have no protection, you're liable to be attacked in any kind of way and suffer in silence or suffer more with the wrong type of spiritual influence. I am with you and all around you, encircling you in golden rays of light. I always behold you face to face. Now, one of your thoughts escaped my notice, because I am infinite. I am able to love you as if you and I were the only ones in the universe. And I have read this before. It's now dawning on me. I read it twice. Walk with me in intimate love steps, but do not lose sight of my majesty. Majesty. Know what that means? Walk with me in intimate love steps, but do not lose sight of my majesty. I desire to be your closest friend. Before I move forward, I'm just thinking like, majesty, majesty. That's a part of what this battle is about, right? And I'm gonna play a clip right after this too, and we're gonna get into it. It's because it's just about when you have a dream, when you have a purpose, a mission in life, your purpose, you're gonna meet all type of oppositions. You're gonna be met with restraint, resistance, right? And any other time I can read, fine, perfectly. I'm a really good reader. But whenever I read for the Lord and I'm reading the Lord's word, it's a stumbling block in my tongue. Can't get the words out. Can't even think about what I'm saying. And that's just an attack of the enemy. They don't want me to push this word out there, and also for me to keep talking. But nevertheless, I like to be understood, and I like to be, felt. And that's just how I move. That's how I live. You're gonna feel me. You feel me? And you're gonna understand where I'm coming from. And that's just that. I like to be felt. I like to be acknowledged and acknowledge people. On my way to doing me this morning, I see a few people, and I like to interact with people, like acknowledge them, saying what up, wishing happiness on their life. The power of words. Tell two guys Happy Tuesday. They was happy. They said Happy Tuesday. I know it kind of hit them by surprise. They're like, Happy Tuesday. I don't be hearing that type of stuff. But they was like, okay, yeah, I accept that. Yeah. And they said it back in unison. It's like a choir. But this is it, right? The Pursuit of Happiness. I love that movie. I love the words, nevertheless, because the pursuit of, what are you constantly pursuing? Are you pursuing your dreams? Do you pursue happiness throughout the day, or do you just pursue being alive and just experiencing whatever experiences float your way? Unconsciously, just having experiences. Mindfulness, I practice that a lot. I talk about it a lot because mindfulness is the key to whatever experience you desire. If you're mindful on the things that you're focusing on having something to focus on, being intentional, right? You wake up today, you're like, what is my purpose in life? I'm going to be intentional on finding that, and I'm not going to stop until I figure it out. And once I figure it out, I'm going to live on purpose, because my intentions is to be fruitful. Whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever you are, you're important, and your role in this life is not any less significant than anybody else's. Just like the little bitty small ant in this world, you would think they're insignificant. They're so small. You barely see them from time to time, whatever, right? But a lot of people, as far as architects and let's just say architects, right? A lot of their designs come from ants. And if you didn't know that, and if you wonder how and why is this, right? We are curious people, curious by nature. We just always curious about something, right? I mean, you're curious on how to be happy. You're gonna try to figure it out. You're curious on how to be successful. You're gonna figure it out. or at least you're going to try. Some do, some don't. Nevertheless, curiosity encourages people to move and act on that. A few curious people, they pour some cement in a ant hole or hill, whatever you want to call it, right? Because it's in the ground. They poured cement down there, right? They poured it, let it sit, let it dry, whatever. Plus, they had a little metal rope to it or chain or something, so when it dry out, that they could pull it up. And what this was and what it did, it showed their construction underground. And once they finally pulled it all the way up, you see how these ants, little bitty tiny ants, build this massive, nice little, tunnel system. Um, they're looped through the ground, stairs, all this and that, whatever, right? Because you can kind of figure out like wherever is now cemented in that form, that was their walkways. And they was like, wow, this is really cool. Who would think that they could think like this and build like this? And not only that, that one group of ant, that one ant colony, they did different ones and realized that every different colony had different designs and way more advanced and spectacular than the next. And it was like, this is something that we can utilize. This is something that we can, you know, copy paste. Like a lot of people like to copy paste. They watch you, they want to be you, and they need your help to be you. It is what it is, right? People be inspired. That's another form of curiosity or whatever. But I said that to say this, like, you are not think are small are really big things in somebody into that. Everybody, right? You might be somebody who just like to clean the streets. You don't like messes. You teach the world how to be responsible and picking up behind themselves. That's a major thing in this world, especially where we have countries that's full of debris and different little things, right? It teaches you how to declutter. Decluttering is a part of mental health. You can't really think straight. You can't really create when you're cluttered, when you're have no space, no room to breathe. And that could be as simple as the negative thoughts in your mind that's cluttering your creativity. It could be your environment, the negative people, whatever, right? People, places, or things, they come in different forms and fashions. And not everybody, not everything, and not every place is the place that we need to be to develop ourselves to who we are desired to be and who we are meant to be. Just like gold, you don't really appreciate gold when it's in that little rock form until it goes through the fire, molded, and then, shoveled down into whatever design they want it to be. Usually it's a diamond cut chain or it's a rope chain or um, I forget different kinds, but you know the different type of gold chains, right? It didn't just come out as no gold chain. That was a solid piece of rock that was dirty and muddy that had to get burned and cleaned. But nevertheless, that's the same way as us. Mud, you're gonna really get that. You're gonna really get that mud up off you because we come from the dirt, right? We need to be molded and cleaned it and going through these transformations to burn some of that stuff off of us that's not helping us shine the way that we're supposed to shine, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever, right? It's a process. It's a conscious process as well. You want to consciously decide to take action these ways or you're not. And it's all about the power of the mind. If you have enough time to really just evaluate the things that you think about on the day to day, the things that you focus on from time to time, you'll start to realize where you're headed. And spending time, this is how I spend time getting to know where I'm headed and also to have clarity on where I'm headed. And if I'm heading in the right direction by spending time reading God's word, it was like God works in mysterious ways. And a lot of people heard that before, but I really can testament to that. Like, being honest with yourself first and foremost, living authentic. You're gonna face some unpretty things about yourself, but it's all right because we're renewed. Once we pick up this Bible, once we pick up this lifestyle, this commitment to follow Christ, we start seeing the world different. We start submitting our thoughts to Christ and like, is this right for me? Right? Like the battle of the mind. I'm constantly having thoughts of um, basically uh, unrighteous things. The devil like to work with you. Nevertheless, that's just my darker side of me who I'm trying to let go because it's like, hey, this is the way that we used to do things, and this is the way that you need to be maintained, and this is the way that you can get ahead, right? And me, I'm knowing it's like, but what come with that? I'm so tempted, but the easy road always the widest open, it's the brightest lights, it's the prettiest. But the path to righteousness is narrow and barely walked through. So that's when I spend time when I'm like, oh, I'm having thoughts that this is easy, this would be the way to go. That's when I had to question those thoughts and I had to submit them to the Lord. Like, Lord, my financial situation, my health situation, everything about me. The things that's not like you, that's of me, that I entertain the most, I give it to you so that you can, show me what to do about these things. Like, I need money for this, I need money for that. I'm working on my return. This is a process. And that's just how it goes. But in the meantime, you can be filled with thoughts like, wow, they're really advancing over here, or they did something similar and their return came back quicker, or, they're moving through life like a butterfly, just as happily and pretty and, it can be. But nevertheless, it's like, that's a mindset thing. It's mental health as well, because now I'm focused on the wrong things. That's not my purpose in life, is to focus on people's success and not celebrate them with their success. Because you don't know what their mindset is like. You don't know how hard it is for them to get out of bed to be great. You don't know how many times they feel like giving up. You don't know. You don't know even if they feel successful, though they may look like it to you. So that's the basically, the red flags of when you're heading the wrong way and you're focused on the wrong things, because that's not how you develop as a human being, as a person. And when I start drifting off into that mindset, into that energy flow, because it's an energy type of thing, right? When you start focusing on these things, you start manifesting more, you start ready to act on it, you start feeling more, it becomes a real thing that energy is engaged in. And that becomes your reality. It is your reality. The more and more you think about it, the more and more, you fester up that energy to make it a solid matter. And that's when I hurry up and submit those thoughts to the Lord, like, okay, and I just be honest, like, Lord, I don't trust that you'll provide that. Like, I know you said I can make it through digital marketing, I can do this, I can do that, but I don't believe you. I don't trust you. So therefore, I'm having thoughts to take this into my own hands. I want to trust you, Lord. Can you help me trust you? And, I have dreams, I have signs and symbols, and you're telling me, like, this is how you're going to trust me. This is how I'm going to provide. This is how you be a little patient. And this is how I'm gonna get you through that little time. I'm leading you somewhere, but also I'm giving you the tools to get through somewhere. But just keep going. And that was my answers. That be my answers, because along my path, I'm going to fall continuously. I'm on my way, Lord, but now I see something that's making me doubt that this is what's for me. And people give up. We are human beings. This is how you grow stronger in the Lord. How you grow faith. How you grow trust. By your thoughts are not aligned with God's word, then you're similar. I mean, you're conforming to the world. You start to think like the world, and you want to get these worldly results and be caught up in this world and to fall in place. Not saying to enjoy our time here, but it's a way to do it. We look at social media, we look at entertainment, and we're always being bombarded with things that we are not, because we are not of this world. See how this world wants to tease you about things they know you need, and it's for entertainment purposes as well. The government, they claim to have our backs, but every time you turn around, it's like, can we trust these people because they're doing so much nonsense? Our water's contaminated. They're spraying stuff in the clouds and the air. Like, what's really going on, right? I mean, because If these people, if this nation was really one nation under God, what kind of God are we under if we're doing things like this and we're entertaining these type of thoughts, right? I'm just curious, like, I don't know. But that's a worldly type of mindset. It's a worldly type of um, enticement. They want to entice you to be just like them. These celebrities that come up and claim to speak for us who never know what a struggle is like, who don't know what real sacrifices is like, because if they make real sacrifices, you would be telling people the truth of how you get in that position and what it really takes instead of, look, I got $1 million, I just made a song. But who was pushing those songs? The industry who paid for all of your likes, all of your albums. Like, I mean, a lot of this stuff goes on. The truth is really stranger than fiction. And the truth is sometimes hard to handle. It's sometimes not unwelcome. A lot of times it's not unwelcome. A lot of times it's not wanting to be heard. People don't want to be accountable. They don't want to come out of sin because it's so enticing and it's so enlightening. And it's fun, to be honest. Like, I mean, that is right. That doesn't mean that your soul is being tied to these consequences. But let me stop talking so much and get through this because um, this is how I read. I relate to certain parts. If not, then I move on, keep it moving. I always relate to something in God's word because it's a real lifestyle. It's a real choice. It's a real decision. It's something to be conscious of day in and day out. Especially when these thoughts come to mind, like, hey, you could just do this and you'll be all right. Why suffer, right? Why be impatient? Why be patient when you can be impatient and just make it happen? It's like all of these things go against the progress that you're making. And this is a conscious decision daily that I decide to follow Christ. And when my time come. And people already know, you can look past my sufferings and I'm gonna look past you and you looking towards my success. It's just like that. People will be happy when you're down and they be wanting to be around when you up. They won't they won't suffer with you. Just like Jesus Christ, he's Lord of Lords, King of Kings, but yet and still he comes down to suffer with us, bringing those compassion in those hospital rooms, bringing those a little bit of light in those dark areas, some in prisons. I met God a few times in jail, and it was like, it's a scary, it's just that presence is so strong. This person inside this person is something out of this world. I met three guys, one of them named David, one of them named Joseph, and one of them named Thomas. And I met another guy, Timothy, but Timothy was in a different place. But nevertheless, he was a godly person as well that had that strong God spirit that you could just feel like, if I was blind, I could feel somebody right here. That's how strong that presence is and was. And just being locked up for so long, I was going to trial, couldn't bond out. But I was scared. I was young. I was like thinking about a lot of stuff. Like, I don't want to get touched. I don't want to have to fight. I don't want to have to do all this stuff. But I'm in this realm where it's possible, and it's a lot of negativity. A lot of guys angry. A lot of guys want to be tough or whatever. Right? You're around a bunch of guys all day, and if you're not a guy, this is how guys are. We're territorial. We need our space. We like our space. We like we do this type of stuff. It's fun sometimes. It's what guys do. We rough. We're just naturally like that. We like to push the limits. We test death. We do crazy stuff. I mean, shit, it is what it is. It's a guy's nature. We like to live on the edge for some of us. It's just what it is, right? But in a situation like this, it's like you don't really have time for that. Your spirit's low, and it's like you really just want a peace of mind, which is hard to get. You got to really fight for that peace of mind. Really fight for a little piece of happiness. Feel way, way more intense than out here in this world because this world is full of flashy lights and you're easily distracted, easily manipulated into thinking that this is not what it is. And these spirits out here are tricky, different than the spirits in jail. But anyway, when you're not filled with the Holy Spirit, you will never really know until it's too late. You're dealing with these spiritual battles, and you're going to Sherman, whatever, right? All these things are there for a reason because they want to keep you tied down to certain spiritual realms. Like Jesus Christ is this spiritual battle. And if you're not on his team, you're on the other team, no matter if it's through Buddha, Allah, Osiris, Nirvana, I mean, whoever, whatever, right? All these other different deities, entities, gods, whatever y'all want to call these things other than Christ Jesus, right? Um, it is what it is. All of these things are basically, they are fighting for the top spot to be Lord of Lords, King of Kings. And they're all trying to grab their, they building their camp, they building their team. And it might sound crazy about this stuff. Just like, I was born Christian. If I was born anything else, I would be diehard believing that, right? But it comes a point in time where you have to really just be like, is this for me? And really have a relationship with that God, wherever you praise or worship. And you just find out if it's for you or not. And before you pray or anything, especially with the Bible, we ask to be filled with the Holy Spirit because some things are not easily made known to man. God give us visions impartial because he desires for us to rely on him and depend on him. Like, God, I really don't trust you. I don't know if you can do this or you will do this. But that's just the doubt because, it's hard to depend on somebody or anything, right? Especially when you're independent and God bless you to be like this. It sounds like a total contradiction, but God allows you to be more and more independent when you depend on him. He does these things. And that's what I'm learning on my relationship with God. That's why I do this every day. I spend time getting to know Christ and renewing my mind because I'm learning, right? I wasn't born knowing this stuff. I wasn't born having a relationship with God. I was born knowing that you can't have a relationship. Okay, let me start this over. Your relationship with God isn't my relationship with God. We can talk about God together, but that doesn't mean I'm going to have your experiences. I have to have my own relationship. Therefore, I can know God for myself. That's why I don't go to church. Not because I don't want to, or not because I see anything wrong with it. It's because I have a personal relationship with God. I don't need anybody to push their beliefs on me. I don't need nobody's assurance on what they believe in their relationship with God, right? I don't need to hear you on what that person is like. I would know for myself if I had a relationship with that person. It's just the same as that. So, with that being said, it's like we can go to church. I could be in there all day, but if I don't spend time actually reading my Bible and getting to know God myself, then I will always depend on you and your word and your experience. And you can always manipulate me and use this word however you want. That's why I encourage you all to have your own relationship with whatever God that you believe is for you. Me is Jesus Christ, and that's it. Learn things from other practices. But at the end of the day, I wasn't filled with the Holy Spirit with them, and those things wasn't really assuring me that this is what Christ wanted me to do. Of course, he allowed me to do it, but he opened my eyes quickly. Like, this ain't you. This ain't it. Not to knock anybody that does anything. You have to find enlightenment on your own. But if this is a message for you, I highly encourage you to pray to God, ask for forgiveness for following up behind these other deities or gods or putting anything above women, men, porn, whatever, right? You know what you spend most of your time with. I just encourage you to spend 2 hours out your day getting to know Christ. I spend however long I be on here, plus on my own time, but I spend time with Christ with you all. And then I spend a few minutes doing money making activities, and then I'm back to enjoying life as it is. Not to be working all day, but I am a little behind on my dreams and goals. But that doesn't mean work yourself to death to be successful. No, it just do what you can, appreciate that, and make sure that you put your all into that while you're doing that. Be focused on your task at hand. Don't be doing this while thinking about that because you're not present. You're not putting real energy into it. It's not authentic. It's half of you, it's half of the future, it's half of the past. That's the power of mindfulness. You get to put your all into something and appreciate that and know that it's going to be what you desired it to be. And if you allow it space and time to evolve, right? Just like this company team, Angie, we just celebrate the 3rd year anniversary. 3 years of allowing this company to be what it's designed to be. It didn't start off as I thought. It didn't even what I wanted it to be as far as consultancy agency in the public relations industry, right? I was going to go into this industry regardless, but as a personal consultant, I didn't think so. Like, business owner is and was, now that it's come to pass, the way that it's come to pass is not the way that I imagined it to be, but it's nevertheless a dream come true. Creating clothes and stuff like that. That was really my thing, but as I spoke too soon, too early to too many people, they was in birthing doubt in my heart. This gonna take this, whatever their excuses was, right? That was their vision, that was their goal, but that wasn't what God had put in my heart. And I allowed that to just kindly, slowly take time out of my life from being in my purpose, doing what I was designed to do. Sacrifice, like, man, it costs so money. And especially when you paying for something, it's the last that you got, and you don't know nothing about business at all except for what people on YouTube self proclaim. Mentors, whatever, they think they know some stuff, and they're people always scheming and scamming, but it is what it is, right? Until you really just start going for yourself, like I say, like until I start this journey on my own and really figuring stuff out, that's when I stop listening to what these gurus or these mentors or self-proclaimed people that don't really know shit was talking about, and I just start learning on my own and start giving my experience to people. And I don't regret not one bit. I'm still learning because I haven't learned everything. Businesses change, industries change, and you have to be able to and willing to adapt. And if not, you're not going to be successful. I mean, it is what it is, right? If you're not willing to change, because change is inevitable, meaning it's bound to happen. You like the changes or not, it's life. Every day is different from the next, but history does repeat itself, not in the exact same way. That's why people are able to make money off the markets, because they're analyzing history and capitalizing off the analyzing on what happened throughout that data, collecting data, analyzing it, capitalizing basically, right? I'm going to get into these night terrors in just a bit. I had these before, and this is a part of spiritual battles, like the power of words. People could speak down on you, speak curses, and it's easily like, oh, I don't like this person. Even the thoughts, you entertaining like this person, woo, you fester in that hate, right? That's witchcraft. Talking about somebody, getting a gathering of people to talk down on you, to wish negative on you. Those sending curses to you, and in a big, powerful energy way. And sometimes those curses manifest through dreams. You'll start picking up on that energy, and you'll start doubting, and you'll start, dealing with that mindset that it'll come to your dreams and fester in a physical form, and you won't even really know. You even be partaking in this type of activity, sending curses on people, not consciously aware that you're doing it. That's why I never really say good morning to people, because people mourn through death. Why would you want to wake up mourning, right? So I say have a happy day, whatever that day may be. That's why I say that, because the power of words, and I'm conscious on what words I'm using and how I'm using them, and how I'm using them to bless people and not curse people. I understand people's intentions. I get it, but then again, I don't understand. It's really contradicting, right? Like, you just watch people, you can analyze, like, is this person conscious enough to know what's really going on? Is this person just, you know, as shallow as the little pond over there? There's no real depth to this person. They don't really have any depth to life. And that's fine. That's just for those who are conscious, who are aware and who like to, you know, stay that way. Those people have more depth to them because they see the world for what it really is. And once you see the world it is, but once you become enlightened like that, you know, it's a practice. It's like holding fire, holding water. You can't just go hurry up and give it to somebody else, especially if they don't have a cup to contain that water or they don't have a torch to receive that fire, right? You will burn them. You will also burn yourself. And nevertheless, you will drown this person. Or you will pour into a holy cup. And that's the same as with you when you receive certain information. You have to live that information and be that information until you actually can stand firm on that information without being wavery in your beliefs about it before you go sharing it. Sometimes you don't have to share things with people by saying anything. They just know by your lifestyle, by the changes you make. And that's how you can tell people about the good things in life, the things that you're enlightened about, right? Is by just becoming the difference, becoming the difference. Just like Clark Kent. Clark Kent, he's a regular guy until he practices um, justice. That's when he becomes Superman, and he just do it, becomes something different, and people just know like, oh, you're not Clark Kent anymore. You're Superman. That's the same way that people get to know you. Like, you know, you're enlightened to people because you're not that person anymore. You're that person. That's that turns him into Superman. When he's not thinking about justice, he's thinking about newspapers or whatever his other occupation is. That's the same with all of us. When you have a purpose in life, it transforms you into a different person. And you just do it without thinking because you practice it so much. It's just a habit now. It becomes who you are. This is how that habit becomes who you are when you constantly read and your mindset shifts. You see the world differently. The human mind is the pinnacle of my creation, but so few use it. I communicate continually through my spirit, my word, and my creation. Only humans are capable of receiving me and responding to my presence. You are indeed fearfully and wonderfully made. You are indeed fearfully and wonderfully made. Only humans are capable of receiving me and responding to my presence. Responding to my presence. Like I said, when I was in jail and those three guys, I felt the presence of God in them. And when they spoke, I knew it was God. They they was telling me three different things, right? As far as like witchcraft and like I had just lost my sister at this time, and they was telling me not they, but this was Timothy, I believe. I forget which ones are which, but I remember the experience. I'll never forget. And the words that they said were comforting. It was straight from the Lord, without a doubt. The same with David. He was giving me a little faith. He was like, man, I just got sentenced. I lost my trial, woo, woo, woo. And mind you, I'm going through trial at this time as well. People keep telling me, you going to get my punishment on my future, on my circumstances. They're trying to get me to come in agreement with them on my suffering. Though I am suffering, it's not nearly as what it's finna be or what they have coming, right? Because I'm confident in my spirit. I'm not wavering like them. I'm not really worried. I'm at peace, right? Even though I'm in the midst of my suffering and I'm not agreeing with what they're saying because of what it looks like. I was facing 0 to 15 for aggravated robbery, right? And battery. They keep saying you want to go to trial because you know once you go to trial, then you can get the max, whatever, right? And it was scary every time. Like, do you want to carry on? Yeah, yeah. And that's a scary situation to be in. When I pray to the Lord, and He like, yeah, you know, just go through it, whatever, woo, woo. Just like with this digital marketing, just go through it, woo, woo. Like, you know, it's a scary process, especially when you feel like you're lacking your doubt, or you know, whatever, right? You be on the sea just rocking, and you don't know if you're gonna make it to the land or not. It's a crazy time, but nevertheless, you have to keep it moving. You have to stay focused. You have to have this is untrue. Word never comes back void. This word isn't alive. And those three guys reminded me exactly of that. and exactly where I was headed and exactly, to keep doing what I was doing. And this here speaks volume. I know this without a doubt. I was keeping my mind on God in that place. And it was just like if you ever spoke to somebody who Moses fled when he parted the seas, you would see like at that time you hear anybody's story, they might tell you like, man, I don't think that we was gonna make it, especially we was faced with the sea of adversity because now these people running in, they closing in on us. All the end. But nevertheless, God makes miracles happen. He'll step in and wow you, right? And that's what he's been doing in my life, just wowing me. Like, Lord, especially when I have doubt, and it is what it is. I even doubt human beings from time to time, but when you doubt God, it's different. And it's because you don't know really like that. But when you get to have a relationship, you start to get to know. You got to keep it real. It's about being authentic. Just because you say you believe in God, you want to get to know God. That don't mean all the time, 100% no. But that's how you be real with God. And that's how you pray with God. And that's how God have mercy and compassion on you. Because He's not stupid. There's no way you can finesse God. But He wants us to spend time with Him and to be telling Him these things how we feel. Because, like, if you're in a relationship with a human being, you might want them to tell you how they feel, right? Instead of trying to be fucking psychic and figuring shit out or just being expected to know because you don't know all the time. And sometimes you gotta allow people to have the space and time they need to process whatever they're feeling. Sometimes you make them feel away, and sometimes so allow people that time. God always allows us that time to be able to come back to Him when we're ready. But this world isn't going to be waiting on your ass to be ready forever. Like you gotta have to take actions because when it's over with, it's over with. God is constantly calling us to get to know Him so that He can lead us to our happy place. That's just what I wanted to leave you guys with. And just to be honest, when you start following Christ, you're going to have these other people that don't like it. The devil do not like us. He feels that we're taking our authority in God, and it is what it is, right? He'll do whatever he can to take us out of there. He needs us on his team to fight against our Creator, going against the grain, just like America does. We're always going against the grain with all this demonic stuff going on, these distractions. God is not the author of confusion. This world is confusing us, and we're not equals as far as having that authority power. And you see it all the time, especially with TikTok, um, X, the people overseas trying to go ahead and buy that, using Elon Musk to go ahead and collect as much data and give it to these people so they could monitor you guys so you won't have freedom of speech. I mean, I could see these plays coming. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, and it's for entertainment purposes as well. But and that's fucked up, entertainment purposes. You can't really have a freedom of speech like you're supposed to and like you should because freedom isn't free. This whole thing is illusion. But nevertheless, this is the inspirational word for September the 30th. And we're going to leave it with that, with this word for today, September the 30th, 2025. I am perpetually with you. Take the fact of your existence. I am not limited by time or space. My presence with you is a forever promise. You need not to fear the future, for I am already there. When you make that quantum leap into eternity, you will find me awaiting you in heaven. Your future is in my hand. I release it to you day by day, moment by moment. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow. That's dope. That's promise. And my tomorrow, I'm releasing it bit by bit to you. I want you to live this day abundantly, seeing all there is to see, doing all there is to do. Don't be distracted by future concerns. That's how I started my day today. I'm just in awe. I'm grateful. I'm enjoying this day. I'm conscious. I'm in my right mind. I'm not worrying about the future. I'm not worrying about nothing. I'm just moment to moment enjoying this day. Don't be distracted by future concerns. Leave them with me. Each day of life is a glorious gift, but so few people know how to live within the comforts of today. Much of their energy for abundant living spills over the timeline into tomorrow's worries or past regret. Not present at all, not even receiving their present gift of today. Their remaining energy is sufficient only for limping through the day, not for living it to the full. I am training you to keep your focus on my presence in the present. This is how to receive abundant life, which flows freely from my throne of grace. And let that be a blessing to the readers, the hearers, and the doers of his word. And for more of this inspiration, you can read from your Bible that this comes from the book of, also the book of John, chapter 10, verse 10. And last but never the least, the book of James, chapter 4, verse 13 through 15. This is the daily reading for today. And the word for yesterday, just go check out my lives. Y'all see the word from yesterday, but I'll give you the books to read from, which is was inspired by the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 4 through chapter 1, verse 16 through 17. And this is about the human mind. Only humans are capable of receiving me and responding to my presence. You are indeed fearfully and wonderfully made. And you can read more about that from the book of John, chapter 17, verse 3. Last but never the least, the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 14. This I feel a little tired already, which is crazy. Night terrors. The devil always try to come slickly ink your mind and eat things to worry about. Make sure you focus on the past. Make sure you focus on the future. Make sure you focus on everything that don't even really matter. Make sure you want to go hate on somebody. Form a team of haters so y'all can be comfortable hating on somebody. All this type of nonsense, right? This stuff is ungodly. It's demonic. And if you want to be a part of it, then sell your choice. Endure. It is what it is. Oh yeah. Um. I was gonna show y'all. Let me see if I can put it. This pretty dope. On how the devil try to steal your upload picture for a GX browser. Let me go to my stuff. I don't own copyrights to this music. This was on my page. I'm gonna play this in a bit. But this is what I'm trying to share with y'all. Kind of like, yeah, whatever, dog. Shit, all that shit irritate me. The older you get, the more you start to transform who you are. A lot of things become a distant memory of yours. You don't really entertain that stuff anymore. You really care less for it. It's like rap. Like I love rap, but I don't want to hear that shit all day. It's irritating. To be honest, nigga. I know how to rap, but yeah, I'm cool, dog. Um, it's dope. It's gonna break down everything of the problems you be having in life. I like these guys too. I don't go watching their stuff like that. And I don't know where they get their information from. Some stuff be far left. Some stuff be right on point. But nonetheless, I like these guys. I just don't. Um, I just don't. Watch their stuff. Oh yeah, Capital One. Hold on, let me see what this is about. This is what I invest in or invest on amongst many other platforms. So they want some feedback, which is all right, but I ain't gonna do that right now. They be kind of like, well, I don't really have nothing bad to say about them, for real, for real. Um, uh, all right, we ain't finna worry about. It. I got a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go through this on my own time, but let me see. Uh, next, I'll show you how to get settlements too. They come like random as fuck, but who don't like random money, right? I don't know what did I start. Yeah, but this is a different platform I invest on. This is where I got my crypto, where I made my own crypto thing, my own cryptocurrency coin. Mm. So what I'm looking for is a email that I sent to my own self because I do this from time to time so I can have notes or whatever, different little articles I read. I be wanting to go back to it or back to September 23rd, so I'm pretty sure. Oh, matter of fact, I know what's going on, why this happening. Let me this only on one folder, my primary. So these are all of them. Some of those emails are hidden because that was only file. This everything. Cause I'm like, I'm in September 23rd. I just did this like yesterday or the day before. This too, I do my digital money making activities, and a lot of this stuff just some of this stuff is some of this stuff like I don't got time to deal with it. Like I'm focused on some other stuff, and it's gonna have to sit there, right? And that's the way that God work as well too. Like you might be so busy doing some stuff because that's what it is. That's what requires of you at the time. You might be putting stuff to the side and forget about it years at a time. I think this is right here. Or nah, this is something I'm gonna share with y'all too, but not right now. Cause some of y'all ain't ready for that. Like if you was, you would be, you know, in the community. And I ain't even gonna cap. Like this is about how to use ChatGPT, AI to drive your certain business a certain way. You know, you gotta first have some type of business to be driving in a certain way with AI. You really don't. You could have creative sources of income any kind of way. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has a gift. Everybody knows something a little bit more than the next person that you can coach. Right? It's really that simple. But when you constantly thinking about the world and all this shit that the world want to bombard your mind with, it's hard to even see this type of stuff. Like simple little things I know that I don't use every day that I forget if I'm constantly bombarded with shit that don't really help me remember what I need to remember. And that is what it is, right? That's about being focused and tunnel vision. Because you're gonna have situations like that. It just is what it is. And I'm having a hard time. I try not to cuss as much, but I curse. And it is what it is, right? It's how I express myself. I'm impatient, like I said, and a lot of stuff be my and it questions. So like as you can see, like I've been having a lot of investment stuff going on. It's the coin tracker. All this stuff is money making activity as far as markets and stuff like that. Then Shorty be trying to play motherfucker, but then they be sitting there, oh, universe fucking them up every way, and they want me to have mercy and compassion and be empathetic fucking downfalls. But that's karma, karma, karma. That's karma. And of course, I can have my hand in your karma, like get back, but fuck that. I'd be happy just to see that. And I'd be like, whatever. That's the type of thoughts I be having. When people like playing little games like that and they forcing my hand. But it's like fuck them, John. What do I do? He's like, fuck them. Just don't worry about that. I got this. And I'll be like, all right, and let it go. And I'm like, Lord, I'm thinking about it again. You said you got it, right? He's like, yeah, don't worry about that bitch. Fuck that. That's how I be doing it. It ain't easy though. And I have to go to God a lot of times like this, because I'm the type of person I'll pop off on your I'll do something to your ass. But I don't to, but I will at this time. And I gotta regard those thoughts because maybe in my past life I was a executioner or I was a torturer or something, but this shit be ready to make the devil smile. Like, hey, how you want me to do this again? Go ahead, use me, dog. Let's get this shit done. But it takes discipline. It takes a lot of patience. A lot of people be quick to pop off like that. Especially when motherfuckers trying. People do that all day because they're not conscious of where how they interacting and engaging with people or how they, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, right? Fuck, people choose to do as they please. That's time. I wanted to share this with y'all so bad, but you see, this is my resistance. Like it ain't here. Doing so much research, and I be so irritated when my shit going slow and I'm trying to create videos. Like I've been having this problems earlier this year or a few months back, 6 months back. And I've been dealing with this for a long ass time. This ain't just no yesterday, today type shit. Like I've been really dealing with this and I've been really pushing through it. But I ain't been complaining to y'all, but I have struggles as well. I have chances and times where I just want to let it all go. Like fuck this shit. If I do that. And that's me allowing the devil to win because of a little bit of adversity, a little bit of rock climbing, a little bit of uphill battles. Like everybody gonna deal with something, but this is mine. It's my journey. On my journey, it was so smooth till I bring God in the mix, and now it's just like everything going wrong. These cult people keep calling me, asking me about church. Like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't care about that shit. But that's what I'm dealing with, though. You know what I'm saying? And what I've been dealing with, constant irritation, battles. Cult people. Like, man, dog, just fucking break. I feel like sometimes internet, Wi-Fi, every time, every day, literally for the past 6 months. Different shit, different people, different places. It's like, wow, Lord. Took away my other source of income, TikTok, bitch ass. But they want to email me every day, like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm trying to write right now. I'm getting texts and calls from people begging and bugging. They ain't even paid me back yet. Like, what the fuck with though? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, right? When I be miserable as hell. I wish this, I would, like, okay, dog. And they be in my inbox with that shit all day, every day. Motherfuckers be mad on text back on call back. Cause I don't want that type of energy. I don't engage in that type of shit. Motherfuckers ain't aware of how they using their energy, what they engage in when they wanna you to think for them. When they thought for themselves on how to be careless, now it's time to be responsible. It ain't easy, dog. A lot of motherfuckers because you come to Christ, everything is gonna be A1. Nah, it's gonna deal with way more shit than you thought. But at least you got, especially when these night terrors come, because I had one this year. It kind of slowed down, but since these cold people start coming back around and all of this other shit and the energy that's weighing on my mental and my physical is starting to bring me in a lower vibration to where, these things are acceptable to happen. But if you don't break out of that shit, you can stay in that. I haven't been having to have you remember. But it's trying. The closer I get to God, the closer they. I think this was September 19th. Damn, it ain't even nothing. Yeah, we ain't even finna look for it no more. But basically, what it was about. Let me see something real quick. This is my Navy Federal stuff. Um, I'm just going on a limb here because I wish when I sent this video, I automatically sent it to my homeboy. Let me see. Now that I have to think about it, I know I sent it to him. I'm thankful that I have friends like this as well, and come across people like this as well because it just popped in my mind. As soon as I was about to, and this is all I want to share with y'all. When I heard it, it was enlightening to me. Now that's powerful, man. They didn't want me to share it with you. They didn't want this information to get to you. They didn't want you to be this knowledgeable. Y'all get to see it? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Did I share the wrong one? Let me see. I don't know. I don't. Wait, hold up. I think so. Let me try this again. Let me take this off. Damn, to be honest, let me try it one more time because I feel like I did. Maybe you did, maybe I don't know. Right now, I'm not looking at what. Let me see. Let me try one more time. That was kind of weird, dog. I thought y'all heard it, but we gonna do this one more time, and then we gonna end this. They, I feel like they not. Let me try it one more time. Wait, oh yeah, I went to the wrong thing. I think. Um, yeah, I went to the wrong thing. I don't know if it's showing or not, but I'm about to end this thing. Let me try one more thing. I know y'all probably heard it, probably didn't. I can't do it. This stuff like be tripping, dog. To this point is live. It's live experiences. It's live action. It's a live example of exactly what I was saying. I mean, what more can I say? You see it. A live example. Not that I want it to be happening now, nevertheless, but it's happening. But yeah, let's go. I see it wanting to do something, but it ain't. I shared this with my homeboy though. We be having talks about Christ and life, man. Pretty dope. Um, I'm not sure if you had a chance to check it out. But yeah, man, I wish I could have shared it with y'all if y'all was able to hear it or not. I don't know. Um, don't know. You try to put y'all though, so because I really can't control what's going on. I'm trying my best, but spending time, too much time on not making progress. I do like to try my best, put my best effort in, before I just give up on it, or shut it down, or abort mission. I don't know. But sometimes the best way forward is to take a step back so that you can have clarity. You can see exactly what's the next step and how to navigate this process, situation. A lot of times, God been just taking me step back, and I've been figuring it out. I never thought that I have a cryptocurrency. My wildest dreams, it's not something I just thought about. It's something that God led me to because I was obedient. I'm following the path that He showed me. Just like Joseph, He was like, Joseph, you're gonna be the prince of Egypt. Of course, it don't look like it right now, but you're on your way. You're not there right now because you need to be molded into the type of person that's going to maintain that position. You're going to have a certain type of mindset, a certain type of empathy, a certain type of compassion. So this suffering is not uh, in vain. Just know that you're on your way. And that's what I'm saying to you all. Your suffering is not in vain. Just know you're on your way to living your best days. My father used to always say, and other people I've heard, my best days are yet to come. And I used to be like, really? But it make a lot of sense now. Like, they know deep in their heart what it really is. And those words speak volumes to my life now. Just hearing it, I know what I see it clearly now. Just like I was talking, because you're enlightened, don't even mean that you can enlighten others because they may not be ready. But once you live your enlightenment, then people will see it in time when they're ready. And that was a moment that I'm ready for now. I'm just said it because I'm ready for it. And I accept it and I know exactly what it is. I've heard it many of times, years and years ago, years and years at a time. But it had no weight to me until now. The best days are yet to come, and I truly do believe so. You have really nice days that you think this is it, but that's not nothing compared to what God really has for you. If you're on your way towards it, what are you in pursuit of? Pursue your dreams, pursue your happiness, but pursue you. Make sure you know you more than you know anything or anyone else, because you matter, and you are a developing individual. You're going to constantly change. Sometimes you got to get to know your own self again. I'm not the same person I used to be. I don't even remember. Mindset, ideologies, everything is totally different. Those of you who look into me now, like you changed, you're absolutely right. I am a changed individual, mentally, emotionally, physically, and I'm going to continue to change and evolve to my higher self. Open Book October, man, we finna get into everything about who I am. I'm gonna unravel layer after layer, just like an onion again, so we get to the core. You guys truly understand who I am and what Team Energy is about. But nevertheless, happy Tuesday. If you're new to my channel, please just be a little bit support up and subscribe. That's all that I ask for you guys. And make sure that you binge watch all of my videos. I have a really nice collection. Everything is inspiring. You want to learn how to turn passion into profit. You will see exactly how I've done so. Nevertheless, the free blueprint below is exactly what I have. My passion turning into profit. You can see all of my digital art and NFTs right under the part where you put your email in for the free blueprint. Right under that is my digital art. I really wanted to play all up, but peace and blessings to have you too. Whole new internet thing is a browser. It's called Opera GX. It's way better than Firefox and Google. Or, I forget all the other internet browsers, but this one pretty dope. And the other one I use other than that is Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge pretty decent too, but it is what it is. But nevertheless, yeah, this is a free internet browser. I don't know. Let me see. I was just trying to share stuff with y'all. Oh, excuse me. It ain't sharing. The other day, maybe not. I don't know, but try to share with y'all. I'll probably screenshot. This is screenshot on my phone. Again, it's a towel under my head. It's an old habit. I used to have waves and stuff like that. You can't even really see my scalp. But anyway, I got like two little bitty baby ones at the tip, so I try to keep them down. That's what this towel is about. You see that? Like alfalfa. And I'm not doing this on purpose. Like my shit, I got two double horns. They used to be in the front, now they in the back. These horns right here, they just stick up. These two back here. Not that down. That's why this tab been down, you know. Like here go one, but it's not. It's not nearly as long as the other one. Like here go the other one right here. You see it? That like look, you see, right? But anyway, that's what this is about, just to keep them horns down. You know, the devil be wanting to use me, but I be like, no. So that's why they stay down like that. It's a reminder for myself. When my hair is short, like you'll see my shit in the front of me curled up, but they be like, whoop, whoop. You know the Eddie Monster? I got one of them too. It used to be like a little triangle right here. That's the Eddie Monster, what they call it. And then it used to be like a little. They were like, damn, you got a monster. You got an Eddie Monster. I don't know where they get the word from. Term from. I think it's from Frankenstein. The the dude who made Frankenstein. He had one of them too. I think. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of it. I'm gonna look into it. But I'm like I was born in the late '80s, basically a '90s baby. So we grew up with Count Dracula. Um, it was a whole nother era. You know, the '90s was some shit to be alive. Um, there was a time to be alive. The mindset was different. Everything, right? I mean, like, shit. Just ask about the millennials. Like, shit, we've been adjusting and changing. And we've been through some shit. Not like the older ones above us because they done been through some shit too. But nevertheless, I appreciate my elders. I respect my elders. Make sure that you be kind to them, be patient to them, and help them out. Right? They don't want to pave the way for us as we're doing for you guys, and so on and so on. But nevertheless, peace and blessings. Tuesday from team. I know I'm joining my exclusive community full of like-minded individuals. We all do the same thing. We meet twice a week for mindset and tech skills. Because you got to constantly practice your craft to be better at it, and eventually you'll be the master of it. But nevertheless, it's about leaving a legacy, something behind that you'll know without a doubt.